Hello, I'm Graham Bowcock, the Managing Director of Oakwood Valuation Surveyors, and today I'd like to talk to you about access to property. Now, in the main, most people don't have a problem with access to their property because it adjoins the public highway. So the only restrictions are normal highway restrictions such as height or width, but you can come and go from your property as you see fit and whenever you want. But there's a lot of property in the country, and often the sort of things we get involved with, where the access is over somebody else's land. Now, the right to use that access is called an easement. If your property has an easement and a right over somebody else's property, the first thing you need to know, is it documented? So if you're buying a property or if you're looking at making changes to your own property, you need to know if it's documented and, importantly, what that documentation says. Now, it could be that there are limitations within the documentation, there are restrictions. For example, it may be that the access is allowed only for one house, or it's only agricultural. That means if you want to build 5 houses in your orchard, or you want to turn your agricultural buildings into storage, you have to go and get the consent of the owner of the access, and you may have to pay for that. It may be that access to the property is implied. So if you buy a property, there is normally an implied access, and that will partly depend on necessity. Are there other options? What have you actually bought, and what was the intention of the party when it's contracted? And again, you don't necessarily have rights to improve that access and use it for other things other than what you're using at the time you buy it. Finally, there are prescriptive rights. If you use a right of way for 20 years and you never pay for it, it's not challenged, and you never have permission to use it as of right, then you gain a prescriptive right. And that's quite a good right to have, but it's not as good as whatever's documented. Now, the key why this is important is because it affects the value of the property. So if you're going to mortgage your property or sell it, then it's important that you understand what the access rights are. And coming back to making changes to your property, before you apply for planning permission, before you do any development, it's fundamental that you understand the access rights. Any queries on access rights, please do give us a call at Oakwood. Thank you very much.